So, what is the Seven Summits? Seven Summits is a project from mountaineers all over the world that they try to climb on the highest point in every continent. So we separate the whole planet in 7 continents. That is Africa, where the highest point is Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, 5,895 meters. In South America, the highest point is Mount Aconcagua, 6,962 meters in Argentina, near the border of Peru. In North America, the highest point is Denali, or Mount McKinley, as is most popular in Greece and also maybe in Cyprus, is 6,194 in Alaska. In Europe, the highest point is Mount Elbrus in Caucasus in Russia, near to the border with Georgia. It is not Mont Blanc that the people from France like to say. 5,464. In Oceania, where is Oceania is a continent with Australia, New Zealand, Papua, and Polynesia. The highest point there is in Irian Jaya, West Papua, Carsten's Pyramid, almost 5,000 meters. It's a very beautiful and rocky mountain. In Antarctica, the highest mountain is Mount Vinson, 4,897. Which one is the very, very cold and very difficult to go there to go to the base camp. And of course, the highest point in Asia is Mount Everest, the border between Tibet and Nepal, China and Nepal, and the altitude is 8,848 meters. Also, there is a club. The name of the club is Explorers Grand Slam. But some people, after finishing the 7 summits, they try to go to the North Pole and South Pole by foot, walking. Skiing more than 1 degree. This project, the 7 summits in the South and North Pole, we finished March of 2008, and it was the first Greek that complete this project. It's very beautiful and interesting to do this because you have to travel all over the world. You have to climb to different countries. You have to meet different people, different habits, and it's very important that to know that every mountain is totally different from another. That makes this trip, this project, very, very beautiful.
May I ask the first question? How did you start doing these sports? What was the thing that made you love these sports? And how old were you when you started?
Actually, in Greece, most of the people we are climbers, rock climbers, because we have many rock climbers, rock climbing sectors. We don't have high mountains to call ourselves mountaineers. So in 1994, we decided a small group, a small team from Agria, there is a village in the center of Greece, near to Volos, to make the first expedition to Kilimanjaro, Tanzania. We had success. 4 of us, we were on the summit. And climbing is like a good dish, spaghetti carbonara. If you eat one, you like more, you like more, you like more. And the same year, September, we traveled to Nepal for climbing Himalayas. Next year, something more high, more difficult, more high, more difficult. So in 26 years, we completed more than 60 expeditions all over the world.
How many, say again?
60.
60 and expeditions. Oh my God, 60 clients.
0.
Right. Would you like to ask him some questions, please? Who would like to start first? Yes, Magdalena, but you have to be loud if you can, please.
Where did you find the motivation to do this?
Motivation, yes. It's very, very, very important to know why you are going there, why you are climbing, why you are doing this trip and this expedition. First of all, I think that everybody is looking inside in his mind, inside in his head, in his soul. That means going in an expedition on high altitude, you are looking for something inside here. You like to find your limits, and it's very important to do this for yourself, not to do
Yes.
follows later. It's very, very important.
Can you repeat the last part because
Do
you were
something because you like. Because you start to do. Yes, also I cannot hear you. I can tell you again that it's very important to do this because it's your choice. Because you like, because you start to do this. So the motivation is in yourself. Don't wait for somebody to push you to do this. We are not going on mountains and wait after people to say congratulations. We're going because we like, we are happy on the mountains.
Did you understand what you said? Don't wait for others to tell you yes, well done. Do it because you really believe in that. Another question, please. Yes, Cornelius.
What kind of preparing you need to do that for?
What kind of preparation do you do before you start this kind of expedition?
Very good question. Thank you. Very, very good question. We have to separate preparation and training. Training is the sports we do almost every day. So gym climbing, indoor climbing, rock climbing, cycling, or fitness, or running, or jogging. This is training. But the preparation is something different. Preparation is physical and psychological. Here is preparation. That means you have to do preparation, and you have to wait that you are out of your bed for 60 days. You have to prepare your body that you are out of your refrigerator for 60 days. That means you eat nothing, garbage. You have to prepare your body that you cannot sleep comfortable like your bed. You cannot sleep at your house. You have to sleep in a tent on the glacier at minus 25, minus 40 Celsius. This is preparation. Also, preparation, very special, you have to know this, is how to put your tent. So here in this or on the beach, you can put your tent in 5 minutes. But at 7,000 meters, if it's windy, if it's minus 40, and if it's dark with big gloves, in Greece, you have to practice this without sword, without light, to put your tent with big gloves.
I'm sorry,
Many
I'm sorry. The connection was bad, and we heard until you said, if it is also dark and it is minus 40 degrees, what happens?
You have to put your tent with big gloves, with mitts. That is not easy there. Here on the beach it's easy, but up there it's very difficult.
is the tents that actually the tents you use for this kind of sport, are they the same type of tents that we take for camping on a beach?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No.
What is different? Is
The
it the
difference is the materials. We need very strong materials and very light materials. And because of the wind, our tents are very small and very low. They are not very comfortable, but we have to use very small tents. Sometimes in a tent of 2 people, we sleep 3 or 4.
Oh, okay. Any more questions, guys?
Why do you wear a mask when you go climbing?
Right, we saw on the clip that at some point going higher on this expedition, you were wearing some kind of a mask. Can you tell us what happens to the body as you go higher and why you were wearing that mask, please?
Of course, we climb on high mountains. What is high, what is very high, and what is extremely high, I will tell you now. High altitude is altitude between 2,000 and 3,600 meters. So that means that normally until 2,000 meters, everybody can go really without no problem. Very high altitude is from 3,600 till 5,400. That means that there everybody can go, but with very good acclimatization. And extremely high altitude is above 5,500 meters. So climbing on Mount Everest, we have to go to 8,848 meters. Normally, people above 7,000 meters, they use a mask, ventilator, oxygen, that support oxygen. And why we do this? The problem is that going higher and higher, the atmosphere, the barometric pressure, less and less. You have to imagine that our Everest summit, we have 21% less pressure, barometric pressure. That means that
Nicholas, what does this mean? Because we don't know this. And normal body is what kind of a pressure?
Normally here we have 760 mmHg, okay, in sea level. Up there we have 483. So we have less pressure, so we breathe less oxygen. Make sense? Make sense?
Yes. And how about your heart? Does your heart beat faster, slower? What is happening?
First one is that our breath, we breathe mostly. So maybe at sea level we breathe 60 times a minute. There maybe 80 or 40 or 90. The other is that the oxygen in the body is coming less. We have to give time for acclimatization. But give me please 1 minute to tell you about acclimatization.
Okay.
If we go fast at high altitude, then we have acute mountain sickness. Normally, we have problem. So at the high altitude, the body produces more red blood cells to carry oxygen. If we give time, if we don't give time, we have problem.
The blood vessels are produced more if you're lower, in lower heights. Do you understand? So that they can carry oxygen.
Yeah.
Okay?
How we can do this? We can climb 300 meters per day. No more. And every 3 days, we have 1 day rest.
And this is a rule, yes?
This is a rule, Vicky, exactly. This is a rule. If we go out of the rule, unfortunately, we have problems.
Okay.
Something else.
Sorry.
Okay, something else you know that if one climber go to 7,000 meters without problem, with a good acclimatization, he can go back at 7,000 meters normally without problem, but in a small time. If the time passes 30 days, you lose acclimatization. You have to start from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Something else we have to do is to drink a lot of water during the acclimatization. We have to drink because water is helping to the κυκλοφορικό σύστημα.
Okay, yes, it's the blood circulation, yes.
Okay, and something very, very important is if we climb, for example, 4,000 meters and we have some symptoms, that means weakness, headache, or vomiting, we have to stop. It's forbidden to continue. If we continue, we have problem. We have to stop. If we see symptoms.
Let me ask you a tricky question.
Yes.
Because we have watched films about climbers and Hollywood makers, if a climber says, no, I want to continue, even though he has the symptoms, is there a chance of coming back alive?
If you have symptoms and you continue, 100% you have mountain sickness.
Only. There's not the risk of dying.
Yes.
Fantastic.
But you know, it's very, very difficult. It is very difficult. If you are 1 day from the summit, if you spend 60 days on the mountain, if you spend more than 40,000 euros from your pocket or from a sponsor, if you are out of your family, from your children, 60 days, and you have only 1 day to the summit, and it's very, very difficult to say, I surrender, I go back. You do this.
Okay. Kyriakos?
What we are thinking that
What?
when we
He says, where do you eat when you do this mission? Where do you eat? Do you stop for eating, or there is a program like we do these miles and then we rest?
and what
Okay.
And what do you eat? What kind of food do you
Yes.
eat?
Okay. First of all, we have to know that there is a program, acclimatization program, and the summit push. Of course, the summit depends on the weather condition. Normally on Mount Everest, the summit between 10 and 25 of May. So we have to go there 40 days before to make the preparation, to do the whole acclimatization, and after to have time for the summit push. What do we eat? At the base camp, there are tents, dining tents, and we cook for our Sherpas, our staff, they cook. But at the high camps, for example, 6, 7, 8,000 meters, we have dry food. So there are some packets with dry food. We put some water inside and have some kind of spaghetti or some soup. Or we eat chocolates, some biscuits. But believe me, above 7,000 meters, there is no appetite. You don't like to eat. You don't like to drink. That's the problem. That's why many people, they stay out of liquids. They don't like to continue.
This is something that the body makes you feel this way, or because you're tired? What is the reason?
Both. When you are tired, you don't like to eat. Especially if the food is something tasty, if food is not something like in a Greek taverna. Okay.
Yeah, right. Any more questions, guys? You had a very nice one about the family. Do you want to tell it? So, Michael wants to ask here, over here, how did your family support all this? Starting from your mom and dad, that they were the first that actually learned about it. And then the second family you have with the lovely kids and your wife.
Support is a big word. Support is a big situation. To support is not only during the expedition, the 60 days. If I can say that my family supports me, that means that I take money from my family to buy equipment. That means I take time from my family to go for training in the Greek mountains, Alps, France, Austria, Switzerland. That means I take a lot of time from my children, 67 during an expedition. That is support. And it's very important to have people to support you. Say, yes, go, you have to, because you like it. This is a good support.
Okay. He says, Alex is asking, have you been trained in order to climb mountains, or anybody who does rock climbing can do it? Do you need a special training for such an expedition?
Yes.
I don't know your answer. Oh, sorry, wrong question. Have you failed any climbing?
Yes. I failed. So you mean that we don't have success?
Yes, exactly. You didn't manage to go there. Would you like to tell us about this?
I can tell you two points. The one is 2013 K2. K2 is the second highest point in Earth. It's very difficult mountain. It is in Pakistan, Karakorum. So we start to climb in the national expedition, and after 55 days, we climb to Camp 3, about 7,000 meters, 2 days more to the summit. So the snow conditions was very bad. The snow was very bad. Snow condition was very bad. We had a lot of snow, almost 2 meters fresh snow. But the temperature in the day was very hot. That means about 15. And when the mountain is not very steep, like 90 degrees, or is not very flat, like 0 degrees, the snow can give an avalanche. So there it was about 35 degrees, a very dangerous point. We decided to go back. After 55 days, spend all our money, time, all food, everything. 2 days before the summit, we had our leader and his son from New Zealand. They decided to go home, to continue. Next day, the avalanche killed them. So we had to.
Yes, it's the avalanche. Avalanche is when the snow comes and covers you. So the leader of the mission and his son said they wanted to continue, and the rest of the team came back, and these two died. So the avalanche actually killed them. Okay, and the second one was?
2 years ago, we tried to climb Everest again, lady from Athens. So we are 25 minutes from the summit. The summit is 8,848, and the south summit that is 60 meters before the summit. I'm the regulator of oxygen frozen. I couldn't breathe oxygen. So in 2 minutes, I have to take a decision to continue to go back. I said I am 20 minutes from the summit. Maybe 200 meters, because up there you go very slow. And I decided to go back. I decided this day.
Because the oxygen, the circulation of the oxygen frozen, and he couldn't have oxygen, and he had 2 minutes to get back to a safe altitude. Okay, so this was when he failed. Any more questions? Yes, sorry.
Let me finish. This day, 11 people died on that. 11.
Say again, because the connection was bad and we only heard the 11, please.
This day, 2 years ago, 11 people died on Everest.
Oh, nice.
And, okay, any more questions? Cornelius?
If somebody has an accident on the mountain, how do they get him to the hospital?
If there is an accident, he says, during this expedition, how do you get him to the hospital?
Okay. Before we start our expedition, we do a kind of evacuation insurance. There is a company all over the world. The name is Global Rescue. So we pay for insurance, and if we have an accident during the climb, they can rescue us. Be careful. Helicopter is flying till 6,400 meters. If you have an accident higher than 6,000 meters, you have problem.
So, would you, if somebody is hurt, not dead, but you're above 600 meters, you will not take him back?
It's very, Vicky, it's very difficult. There are dead bodies on Mount Everest because it's very, very difficult to carry a body of 90 kilos down. You know, before the summit push count even 100 grams. We say that we take half a liter of water and not 1 liter of water, because it's the limit very, very hard to carry your body up there. So it's very difficult if you see somebody dead, carry 90 kilos of body down. If you do this, first of all, you have to cancel your expedition. That is okay, and you put yourself in a very, very big danger. That's why there are many dead bodies in the mountains.
Any more questions, guys? Would you like to ask him anything else? Nicholas, oh yes, yes, sorry.
Were you afraid of failing?
Did you hear the question, Nicholas? That was a very nice one. Gabriela is asking you, were you afraid of failing at any point?
If I am afraid of failing, αν φοβάμαι, αν αποτυχώ.
Of failing an expedition, of not completing the expedition.
Not afraid, of course I'm not afraid. If you tell me that a basketball player, if he's afraid to lose the match, okay? If you lose the match, you lose the match. But there is a big difference. A basketball player lose basket, the last point, but he lose match and maybe cup, not champion. If I lose something, is my life after that.
Anything else you would like to ask? Do you have any new plans for a new expedition, Nicholas, before we leave you and thank you for what you've done?
Yes, our plan is to go to Patagonia, for climbing the highest point of Patagonia, that is Mount Fitzroy. It's a very beautiful area. It's very difficult and superior rock climbing and ice climbing, mixed climbing sector. And believe me, it will be very, very, very fun. We have a lot of fun up down there in Patagonia.
All right. Thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart for what you have done. Thank you, guys. Thank you, girls. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much, Nicola.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Thank you personally. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Right, so that was it. So what do you think about this guy? He is actually now